The weight of words. Men are told to praise, to smile, to flatter, to make her feel special. But flattery rarely earns respect. It often dissolves the speaker instead. A quiet confession that you seek approval more than you offer truth. Every careless compliment teaches the world that your voice carries no gravity. And yet, there are men whose words still stop a room. Not because they speak louder, but because silence seems to bend around their sentences. Their speech lands softly, like the strike of a match in a dark room. This is not charm. It's centeredness. It's the art of recognition over reaction, of seeing rather than seeking, because the compliments that linger are the ones that cost presence. Not money, not volume, but attention. A shallow, nice outfit floats away like dust, but a slow, steady, that was impressive, spoken after a heartbeat of silence, hits like thunder, because truth, when unhurried, shakes the air. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And so, if your thoughts are frantic, your words will be hollow. But when your mind is still, your language becomes rare. And what is rare becomes valuable. The goal is not flattery. It is awareness. See clearly, speak slowly, mean what you say. Then your voice becomes gravity itself. Your trouble, in the best way. There are people who carry electricity in their eyes. That glint of mischief. That spark that wakes the air. Most men chase it or fear it. The grounded man simply meets it. He smiles, unshaken, and says, "Your trouble, in the best way." Not as a tease, but as acknowledgement. He's not surrendering, and he's not judging. He's saying, "I see your fire, and I do not burn." That is composure. That is emotional symmetry. The Stoics called it sympathia. To see yourself reflected in the world's intensity, without losing your shape. Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Fire tests the structure of everything it touches. The disciplined man welcomes that test, because he knows friction refines both sides. When chaos meets calm, the world recognizes balance. That's why the line lands. It's the meeting point of steadiness and storm. 2. You think deeply. I respect that. Some people pause before they speak. They weigh words instead of spilling them. They build sentences like bridges, not fences. When you say, "You think deeply, I respect that," you're not flattering intelligence. You're honoring discipline. The restraint to think before reacting. The patience to sit inside silence. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Most souls today are stained with noise. But when you find one still polishing its clarity, recognize it. Because in a world that prizes reaction, reflection is rebellion. Say it softly. Mean it fully. Then let the silence hang. Because true recognition does not demand echo. 3. You'd be dangerous if you knew how capable you are. Every soul walks with a shadow. The person they could be, if only they stopped hesitating. When you say, "You'd be dangerous if you knew how capable you are," you are not giving praise. You are striking flint against stone. You are calling potential into awareness. It's not arrogance, it's awakening. Because nothing startles the human heart like calm truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Most people argue with their own power. They orbit their brilliance like it's too bright to touch. But that sentence, said quietly, pulls them closer to the fire. It's permission disguised as prophecy. It tells them, you already are what you seek. And in the saying, you remind yourself the same. 4. You've got a calm energy, that's rare. Noise has become a religion. Everyone worships motion, mistaking exhaustion for purpose. So when someone moves through the storm, without spilling their peace, you feel it. You breathe differently around them. Their stillness feels like safety. Say it when you meet one. You've got a calm energy, That's rare. Calm is not emptiness. It is control refined by repetition. The art of spending no breath on what doesn't move the soul. Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That's calmness, power reclaimed. The calm man doesn't avoid fire. He walks through it without smoke. And when you recognize that stillness in another, you remind the world that restraint is still strength. You remind me of someone I used to respect. Some compliments elevate. This one grounds. You remind me of someone I used to respect. It's not flattery, it's remembrance. You're invoking character, not charm. It connects the present to the timeless, a bridge between who you see and who once embodied virtue. Seneca said, "A good character, when established, is not easily overthrown." That's what this line honors, the rare endurance of integrity. You speak it softly, as though handing over an heirloom. No explanation, just silence afterward. Let the echo do the rest. Because when people are reminded of respect, they rise to meet it. The still voice. Every man eventually learns that words mean nothing without weight behind them. The same compliment from two men. One feels like flattery, the other like truth. The difference is presence. Marcus wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." The same is true of his speech. Flattery seeks approval. Presence seeks clarity. And clarity, once mastered, commands attention. The Stoics knew. It is not the sound of your voice that moves the world. It is the silence that shaped it. So speak less. Observe more. Let your stillness do the talking. Because the world has enough noise. It needs men whose words carry calm, whose quiet carries truth. Calm is power, not absence of fire, but mastery of its direction. Be the man whose silence commands respect. Be the man whose words arrive already steady. Because when you no longer chase impact, you become it.